Today we're looking at similar triangles and word problems. Your essential question: how do I find missing measures of similar triangles? Your learning intention: I'm learning to use similar triangles to find missing lengths. Your warm-up: find the scale factor and the missing lengths. Pause the video and see if you can do that now. Well, I hope you tried. As we're looking at this, we have to match up our sides. QRS, HGF. So if I am looking at side RS, which is here, that's your last two. So I've got to come over here. GF matches. GF is 143. So we know that 65 times our scale factor will give us 143. Now, if you can remember, all you have to do is say 143 divided by 65. But it's okay if you don't. Set it up as your equation and divide both sides by 65. (143) divided by 65 gives me 2.2. And I'm good with a decimal. If you want a fraction, hit your math button. Right here's your math button. And then you will hit enter twice, and you get 11/5. To me, it's easier to work with the decimal. So my scale factor is 2.2. Okay, now we've got to find x. If we're looking at x, this is QR, which are our first two. HG is our first two, so these match up. So 9x plus 6, that's the length of our side, times our scale factor of 2.2 will equal 132. Now we're ready to solve for x. Divide both sides by 2.2 so you get that smaller number to work with. (132) divided by 2.2 gives me 60. Okay, now I can solve. Subtract 6 from both sides. 9x equals 54. Divide both sides by 9. And x equals 6. So if I want to find the length of QR, all I have to do is to plug this back in. (54 plus 6), which gives me 60. And this is 60 units. Okay, we also had it right here where we said, well, 9x plus 6 is equal to 60. That tells us what that length is. So this is continuing on similar triangles. Hopefully it's starting to make a lot of sense and you're able to do those problems on your own. Okay, so it says to find the approximate height of the building. Your question for yourself is always, do I want to go triangle to triangle or do I want to go side to side? If I want to go side to side on this triangle, I've got h over 72 will be equal to 2 over 6. They're in the corresponding spots. And then I could easily find it by multiplying and then dividing. 72 times 2 divided by 6. and I get 24. And that would be meters. But what if I wanted to go from triangle to triangle? H over 2 is equal to 72 over 6. And you're still doing the same multiplication. 2 times 72, this was 72 times 2, divided by 6. So the building is about 24 meters high. I guess I should say tall. The building is about 24 meters tall. When you're answering word problems, you answer it with a sentence. Your answer should be a sentence. Okay, in this case, we actually had the picture given to us. In the next one, we do not have that picture given to us. If you don't have the picture given to you, you need to draw it. It says, on a sunny day, a tree casts a shadow that is 146 feet long. At the same time, a person who is 5.6 feet tall, standing beside the tree, casts a shadow that is 11.2 feet long. How tall is a tree? So let's draw our tree. So we're looking at it, tree to the shadow, and we want to know how tall this tree is, so this is our x. And we know the shadow is 146 feet long. Okay, at the same time, we've got a person. They are 5.6 feet, and their shadow is 11.2 feet. I've got my picture. Now I set up my equivalent fractions, those ratios. Once again, you can go from side to side on your triangle, side to side, or from triangle to triangle. Last time we went side to side first, so this time we're going to go triangle to triangle. 5.6 over x equals 11.2 over 146. We always multiply at that diagonal, and then we divide going up. .6 times 146 divided by 11.2. We end up with 73. I'm going to actually put it over here between. Okay, if we go from side to side, 5.6 over 11.2 is equal to x over 146. Once again, multiply at that diagonal and divide going down. 146 times 5.6 divided by 11.2. 5.6 times 146. So here's the same thing. Multiplication is commutative, which means order does not matter. And we know what the answer is. So the tree is about 73 feet tall. Okay, if you've got a picture, use it. If you don't, draw it. That way you can see what's going on. In Algebra 1, we also highlight the important words in our word problem. We did not do that this time, but if that will help you, you need to do it. Okay, we've got an alien. Lance is an alien. He is 5 foot tall. His shadow is 8 feet long. At the same time, a tree casts a shadow 32 feet long. What is the height of the tree? Pause the video. This is very similar to what we just did. Pause the video now, please. Well, I hope you tried to set this one up on your own. If I go side to side, 5 over 8 is equal to x over 32. Now, for those of you that are really good with your multiplication tables, you might look and say, oh, 8 times 4 is 32, 5 times 4 is 20. If you don't see it, that's fine. You do the math. 32 times 5 divided by 8. And x is equal to 20. To go from tree to tree, this is what we're looking for. 5 over x is equal to 8 over 32. 8 is 1/4 of 32, so 4 times 5 is what we're looking for. We multiply and then divide. Once again, x is equal to 20. The tree is about 20 feet tall. Okay. An engineer wanted to approximate the width of a river. She placed markers at points A and B to represent the average width of the river. She also measured the distance shown in the diagram. So can we find the width of that river? Well, the width of that river would be x. That's what we're looking for. So to set this up, I'm going to go from side to side. So x over 62 is equal to, this is your whole side to whole side. Whole side is x plus 49 over 93. This time we are going to do the cross multiplication because we've got two variables. So these two are multiplied together. 93 times x is 93x is equal to. We're going to multiply the other two together. (62 times x plus 49). Distribute. (93x) is equal to 62x plus. This is going to be a big number. If I'm looking at 62 times 49, I get 3,038. Now I'm ready to solve. I will subtract 62x from both sides. Okay, 31x is equal to 3,038. Divide by 31. And x is equal to 98. So that tells us the river is about 98 feet wide. I went ahead and used the symbol for feet so I didn't have to write it out. Okay, the last thing you have to know about similar triangle is a proportionality theorem. Okay, this happens when you've got a side that's parallel. So if a side is parallel, to one side of the triangle, then it divides that side, the sides proportionally. That should be sides there. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, if we're going to use it, we've got to know pieces. If this is 8, the whole thing is 28, then what is that missing piece? This would be 20. Now, proportionally means we're going from side to side or from top to bottom. So if I say 20 over 3x minus 5 is equal to 8 over 10. 20 and 8 are both on this side. 3x minus 5 and 10 are both on the opposite side. I can still do a lot of this at one time, because I'm going to multiply and then divide. And then I'll just have to look at 3x minus 5 and what it's equal to. So I've got 20 times 10 divided by 8. I end up with 25. So 3x minus 5 is equal to 25. I'm going to add 5 to both sides. Three x is equal to 30. Divide by 3. And x is equal to 10. Do I need to plug it back in? No, because I know that 3x minus 5 is equal to 25. And I don't have to redo what I've already found. So looking at this, if MN is parallel to BC, then MB over MA is equal to CN over AN. And AM over AN is equal to MB over NC. Those are both equally used. How do you know you're successful? You know you're successful when you can use similar triangles to find missing links. So the new part today is that proportionality theorem. Which means that if that you've got those parallel lines, that everything becomes in the same ratio. You either have to go top to bottom or side to side. Either way works.